Welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every Saturday at 6 a.m. Australian time. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me today on the couch, Ashley Holdman.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here for episode 50! And in true Explosion Network fashion, there's only half of us here.
Pew, 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 pew. I'm here for this one, at least.
Yeah, first episode 50.
I think is it my first episode?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so I was on the Plat one, and What Do You Want to Watch hasn't reached that point yet, so...
And you went on the Pleasure Explosion one.
And I was on the Pleasure Explosion one. I hate milestones, you know?
And you weren't on the early late nights one.
That's true. That is true. I was not on the early late nights one.
Still fishing.
Still fishing. So I just want to jump into some housekeeping because we just got back from PAX before we jump into the show. Firstly, the most important thing. This is, as we just said, episode 50. Episode 49 is the episode that we recorded live at the Audio Technica booth at PAX on Sunday last week. However, for reasons outside of our control, we haven't quite got the audio yet. That's it. I mean, that's the story. We haven't got the audio yet. I can't give it to you. It's not that I am failing to edit it or upload it or do the work. It's literally out of my control, so I don't even feel too bad. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm honestly not even annoyed because it's not me. And I'm just like, can't feel bad. I'll get angry
Most
at
people
myself.
would be more annoyed.
No, it's weird. I would get more annoyed if it was my fault than knowing that it's completely out of my hands. You know?
Okay.
That's just the way my brain works, I guess, for whatever reason. But yeah, so this episode we're recording this on Friday, so this episode is going to go up tomorrow, and then episode 49 will post presumably probably in the middle of the next week or something along those lines. So whenever that goes up,
as soon as possible,
it'll go up as soon as I could possibly put it up. I think it's fine. Like it's not like a weird time capsule thing where it's going to be boring to listen to in retrospective. We talk about games that we've been playing there that we're not going to talk about today, and so on and so forth. So it's like it's not suddenly like the episode's ruined. You know what I mean? It's fine.
Yeah. Some jokes might not work, but that's all.
That's true. Yeah, but it's fine. It's still worth listening, obviously.
It's fine.
Just give that a listen. So on the PAX, obviously, explosionnetwork.com/PAX. There's a heap of videos up there and on our Twitter, of course, at Explosion Pod, that we've done there. I still have some articles and things I'm hoping to work on and post through the next week, which they'll all be posted on explosionnetwork.com/PAX too. So you still head to that same link. There's still stuff coming. PAX has not ended till I say it has. You know what I mean? I did this last year as well. I kept making the joke because I was still writing stuff like weeks after PAX ended. And I was like, PAX hasn't ended. Not until I say, you know? So I'm like, it's not.
Gotta make it last forever.
Yeah, there's still stuff. I still have a heap of notes on my phone. I'm like,
is PAX ever over?
No.
Not until every single person has recovered from the PAX box.
Yeah, well, there you go.
PAX
and then PAX, that means that PAX definitely...
That'll never happen because...
Never happen. But as our last hurrah for PAX, I guess, do you have any post-PAX thoughts, overall PAX things you'd like to share? Because obviously we're now a week past it. And the Audio Technica thing was less about the, like, retrospective of how do you think it was? It was more like, here's some games we've been playing. We've got like 50 minutes. Let's not spend too much time fucking around. And is there any like games that, or things, moments even, I don't care. Talk about drinking for all I care, really. Just whatever that you haven't got talked about from PAX that you want to bring up.
No, I think we covered everything.
I spend longer on my spiel to pass you the mic than you spend on throwing it back in my fucking face. Like, I picked up my drink and everything thinking I'd at least get a sip in. And I didn't even get that.
It's so easy. Obviously it was a great time. Looking back, I wish I'd played even more games. Obviously, seeing some other outlets releasing their stuff slowly. Like, damn, I didn't see that. I should have seen that and that kind of stuff. The bloody board game the buddy played. I'm like, damn, we should have gone.
Yeah, we got fucked on
the
that.
Metal Gear board game.
Didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. Why didn't he tell us about it? I mean,
he told us on the last day.
Everything. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see stuff that's not ours, just look up hashtag PAX AUS. I'm sure there's other cool stuff that we missed that other people are covering. I don't want to say anybody specific. Let's be honest, Pixel Sift knocked it out of the park.
We're
only three people.
I feel like we have more substantial stuff coming. Like, I'm working on, and you're supposed to be helping me, this fucking best indie games of PAX.
It's coming.
I have Sheree. Well, I've said her name, so she's committed now. You know what I mean? She's supposed to help me with that. So all three of us are supposed to be working on that. I've got this NVIDIA RTX article coming out in hopefully the day this posts, if not like by the end of the day type thing. And I've, as I said, I did this last year. This is how I kind of covered PAX last year. Is we do these videos, which I kind of like to make short and sweet because I'm like, I just feel like that works better. And it's like, put them out there, you know, let's not go too hardcore. And last year I did the exact same thing where I write notes on my phone. And I know people have told me previously, like, cool kids don't write notes anymore, Dylan. Cool kids just remember shit. Fuck off. I write notes on my phone about games I play because I'm old, apparently. And when I get back from PAX, like I did last year, I've still got all these notes. I'm like, I could write about that. Like, could I write about that long enough to turn it into its own article? There's heaps of stuff I could talk about, you know, like that we still haven't had a chance to talk about and expand upon. So just, as I said, explosionnetwork.com/PAX. How much I continue to put out will depend on how much I want to and how much free time I think I have.
How much I want to.
You know, at some point, it's like, I got other shit. We're outside of PAX, and I have other shit I need to play for review currently and whatever else. And I'm organizing end of year awards and stuff. Get ready, everyone. That's also coming up.
Dash. No.
Yeah, no, our awards. Fuck that. Our awards. So the one thing I do want to kind of go over a bit more is, so hopefully by the time this posts or by the end of this day, you'll have on youtube.com/explosion network, and then also explosionnetwork.com an article about my experience with the ray tracing demo thing, which I briefly talked about on the audio technical thing, but not really in depth, and also a 3.5-ish minute video I put together of the gameplay I got to capture of Minecraft. And we'll say off air to Ash, and he's giving me fucking shit over here being fucking... Ash is still in PAX mode. He's like, I had so much fun giving Dylan shit at fucking PAX. I'm just going to continue doing it until the end of time at this stage. Yeah. And
did I ever not, though?
You're growing worse. You're like a fucking plague on my back. So I edited it together. Because I had about 20 minutes of footage from Minecraft, right? I edited it together. I'm pretty happy with this video. I think the video plays like I'm being paid to make it. That's my compliment to myself. I'm like, they should buy this video off me. NVIDIA should, because I think this sells ray tracing quite good, especially Minecraft. But so ray tracing, quickly, in case you don't know, once again, context this thing, it is literally just a technology that helps produce lighting realistically within games. It's a technology that they've been using in movies for a little bit now, but not for super long. Like they use it in Cars. Pixar started using it on Cars movie, which was like 2006, and then they've been using it then fully. The first movie they fully used it in like a full capacity because Cars was like not the whole thing. It was like used for certain reflections and whatever else, like of course the headlights and whatever. Monsters University apparently was the first movie they did like full, just like ray tracing lighting for the entire technology. And then heaps of movies like Spider-Man and all this sort of shit where you see these buildings crumbling or whatever, and like the glass and the lighting and reflections are all working magically and perfectly. So movies have been doing it for a little bit, but not like since the 80s or something ridiculous. So it's rather still newish technology. Games in the past, when lighting or when you think you've seen a reflection, it's just developers doing tricks. It's not real. It's not real reflection technology. It's not real lighting. Ray tracing is basically a technology that means that like they can say the sun's over here, and then the system will allow it to be like, well, it's hitting this thing and it's going to bounce off this realistically, and so on and so forth. And you'd be like, how much does that change though, Dylan? How much big difference does that change? Well, go watch my fucking Minecraft video, because I think you'll be quite blown away by what you're seeing. Now, before you went live, I said, Ash, go watch
Yeah.
the video. It's not live yet, but log into the account, watch it there. What did you think? Is it impressive, or am I shooting out my ass?
Yeah,
give me a real fucking answer.
It does look pretty impressive. I think what I'm thinking is, damn, I can't believe they're using that Minecraft beautification or whatever HD thing that they cancelled.
Oh, the 4K textures
instead of ray tracing. They're just using that instead.
Yeah, but this is the thing. In that video, it looks like it's a complete overhaul of like textures and resolution and everything, but it is just the lighting. It is just the lighting, and that's how much change it makes.
Yeah, all they've done is add realistic lighting, so rooms where there's only one light source instead of just the generic everything is lit.
Yeah.
There is just that sole light and everything is dark. So that's cool. Water, because obviously they don't need to, because of the lighting, it doesn't need to look blue. It can look clear, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just that completely changes everything. But yeah, going outside and seeing like the changes between the lighting and everything, it is very impressive to look at.
Yeah.
And for it to just be a switch of a button, effectively, is the difference.
Yeah,
that's what you were doing. You were just going.
Yeah, they had it set up as a hotkey,
tap,
where I could just click left and right on the diagonal buttons on the keyboard to turn it off and on. And I was smart, I thought, somewhat, of course, because I recorded my footage with that video in mind. So like lots of stopping and being like, this is a shot and I'll edit this together later. But I think the water thing's impressive because it's like in Minecraft, when you go up to water, it's just like it's like, oh, it's blue because it represents water. And there's that part I show in the video where there's a fish and the fish is kind of jumping up and down. And when you turn ray tracing off, it's just like, you can't even see the fish is there. But when you turn ray tracing on and you've got the water suddenly becomes clear and see-through. But it still obviously looks like water, just more sort of realistic water for Minecraft. All of a sudden you can see the fish, like when it's inside the water, which you can't in the normal one, which is kind of like crazy, I thought. And then, it's like the thing you mentioned before about the lighting, the one source, there's like a room you enter where there's like just a hole in the roof and there's just like this Indiana Jones beam of light shooting on a block up ahead or whatever. And then when you turn ray tracing off, it's just like the room's just like semi lit up or like, doesn't in a way that doesn't make sense. And then there's other things you can do where it's like several times I'd just go chip away inside rooms to kind of let in slight light sources and they'll come in really naturally and look really good. But then if I turn ray tracing off, it's just all of a sudden like there's just a very black shadow that doesn't make much sense happening there. Yeah. It honestly, I don't care about Minecraft, but I'm like suddenly like that. If I had access to that now, I would spend more time fucking around because I think it just visually is so impressive. And I would happily just go around clicking on off on ray tracing a lot just to, because I was having, like I'm not like super hardcore photo mode person, but when I really enjoy a mode, I do spend a lot of time fucking around in photo modes like Spider-Man. Horizon Dawn, I spent a lot of time in photo mode just messing around, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that's what I was kind of doing with my time with Minecraft, where I was just like enjoying being like, I can turn it off. Here's a photo. Turn it on. Here's another photo. Like I was having fun with that.
The difference.
Yeah. So the video will be live now or tonight when you're listening to this.
I don't think the implications will be felt as hard in other things because obviously Minecraft is of such a certain style and it's been around for ages. We all know how it looks. So for it to, the ray tracing on that looks super different, but obviously for something brand new, it's not going to be as impressive.
I think
that's just how we've seen it.
If you've seen Control, which you can find pictures online, if I had my phone in front of me, I'd look up that Twitter account. There's a Twitter account that I don't know the name off the top of my head that posts nothing but like Control RTX pictures, and they're fucking beautiful, amazing. I love it so much. I obviously played Control on PS4 Pro, and I reviewed it, and I love the game, but I tried it out for 5 to 10-ish minutes quickly after I was done with Minecraft there. And even though I was struggling with the keyboard controls because I was like, I don't know how anything plays, I could automatically see the differences with ray tracing on. It's not like straight away like you boot up the game and you're like, wow, we've gone from like HD to 4K. It's more like you walk up to something like a glass pane window or something, and it's like there's a reflection there, like and you can stand if you stand next to a bunch of glass or something and like water on the floor. And all of a sudden, you're seeing not only the reflection realistically in like the puddle below you, but then also the glass over here, and then like potentially on like the wall, because it's a very white wall and that's kind of semi shining light on you. Like, it's just little things like that, which I guess for a game like that, they're the type of thing where it's like maybe not everyone would be as blown away, but I'm like really into that. But also I'm the type of person that like, if I get like, I'll walk, if like HDR really impresses me when it's work, but like I always talk about how much like there's a scene in Mad Max Fury Road I love so much, the thunderstorm scene where they go in and like when you watch that in a 4K Blu-ray of HDR, it's completely different because of what it manages to do with the colors. It basically switches from a black and white to color, on off, and it can't do that on a normal version. It blows me away. And I think this is the sort of thing. But I think because Minecraft, I think this video is really, as weird as it is to like be like, here's a good way to push this technology with a game with a graphic style that isn't like super realistic. But I think there's just something about the major difference you can see in Minecraft that it's easier to understand. You know, you can watch that video put together and you can understand. There's no like, oh, I don't really see the difference. You don't have to think about it. The difference is so out there. You can just see it. You don't need to even digest it. It's so obviously different. Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm trying to get into this technology as well, obviously, because next generation, next year, Project Scarlet's going to have ray tracing, PS5 is going to have ray tracing. I kind of feel obligated as a person in the industry to pay attention and care. Yeah, that's how I feel about ray tracing, which is why I went to the thing in the first place. All right, let's get into the news because we're about 15 minutes in, and we should start, I guess. So, well, hold on. PAX was good. Very good, everyone. That's PAX wrap up thing. More stuff coming. Stuff. PAX was good. Thank you for coming along. Michael.
Thanks for seeing us.
Thanks for seeing us, Michael. Took some pictures of us all at that AT booth as well, which I will be, whatever he sends me will be put up on website as well. He takes really good photos, so you should go look at our pretty faces in whatever high quality film he shot them in. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. News. Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The one that's coming out this year, not the one that came out 11 years ago, whatever it was, is going to have free maps, no loot boxes, writes Cecilia over at Kotaku. Activision is changing the way it does Call of Duty DLC with Modern Warfare. In a blog post today, and it detailed the game-changing overhaul that upcoming shooter Call of Duty Modern Warfare has undergone to make the game and its economy more equitable and fair. New maps and game modes introduced after the launch of Modern Warfare will be free for all players, Activision said, and go live simultaneously on all platforms. That way, content that significantly impacts the game isn't totally reserved for the players who shell out lots of extra money, and Xbox owners won't have to wait for timed exclusives to pick up. There will be no loot boxes in this one either. Modern Warfare, Activision said. Instead, Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have a battle pass system much like those of Fortnite, Apex Legends, Rocket League, etc. Players can unlock weapons, attachments, and other content that can affect game balance as part of either a free or premium content stream, and that's all just through playing. As the post says, the streams, quote, will feature a variety of cosmetic content that will not impact the game balance. So I think this is good news. Battle, what's the one I played last year? Black Ops 3? 4? Blackout, thank you. Blackout. I was like, mental blank here. I was like, why is a fucking game called? That had terrible microtransactions that were added in a couple weeks after release, which was, once again, which is why I was getting annoyed about the Crash Bandicoot thing, because I was like, why are they sneaking these fucking things in a couple after and they were like exuberant amounts of real money for garbage, and you couldn't escape it either. Like, you'd boot up the game, it would be like, buy this, buy that, you know, like fucking all this real world current. What does this mean? It's just, and to me, it was always like, I didn't even understand. I'm like, there's so many, I was like, this type of currency. I'm like, what am I earning by playing? What do I have to buy? What's this? How do I get this? It was just all very fucking confusing. I'm a fan of the battle pass system. I like it. Every game I've played that has one. I think if you want to do cosmetic DLC shit, whatever you want to call it, I think the battle pass system is a very good way to go about it, especially if you do the free road plus the premium road, because then it's like, if you don't know, if no one plays Fortnite or Apex Legends or whatever, it's like whenever they rotate out a new season or whatever, which is what, like every 2 months, 3 months? No, every month probably, every month or two, usually something like that.
It's like 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah, well, every 2 to 3 months or whatever it is. So they rotate out a new season, they'll bring in a new battle pass, and they'll have a free route, and this is what Call of Duty is saying they're going to do as well. And the free stuff everyone will get, and it'll be like, you basically level up your battle pass by simply playing. So every match you do, obviously the better you do, the faster you'll level this thing up. All good to go. And then along the road, you'll start unlocking skins for guns and whatever else, weapon attachments, fucking sunglasses, whatever random shit. Now, if you want to pay out your $15-ish, I'm going to presume it'll be, because that's what the rest are, around that amount, for the premium battle pass, that means you will usually, in most of these games, get sped up a little bit, like booster type things, but then also you start leveling up.
Extra stuff.
Yeah, extra stuff, because you'll start leveling up a different tier, or the same tier but just unlocks at different stages that the free people don't get, and then you'll get premium gear and glasses and costumes and whatever else for your $15. But I think the reason I kind of like battle passes is because it's like, if you're really into the game at time, if you're like, you know what, this season of Call of Duty, if we're going to say like the first season of Call of Duty, which will probably launch, the game's out a week this time next week. I would say that the first season will probably launch at like the end of November, and it'll probably go to like January or whatever. So if you're like, yeah, I'm going to go ham on Call of Duty for the first couple months, I'll pay the $15 or whatever it is, $15 to $20-ish for the battle pass, because I'm going to get my use of it. I'm going to be playing the game a lot. And then you unlock stuff and it feels good because it means you're going to be suddenly unlocking all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. But you're not like forced into playing next season or feel like you're losing money, because every time a new season comes along, they add in new stuff and you have to buy it again and blah, 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 blah. Maybe people prefer to just pay a couple dollars per item. I think I kind of prefer this because it also feels better just kind of be leveling up a thing and unlocking it. How do you feel about battle passes and battle pass in Call of Duty? Because you've put time in Apex Legends and obviously Fortnite a little bit.
I mean, it works better than, I guess, getting items piecemeal or buying certain things piece by piece, because it feels like you're getting rewarded for playing the game more than you do buying some cool skin, I guess. At least for me. I'm sure Fortnite players feel differently because they're making money hand over fist that way. But I think the battle pass works better. It also is like a status symbol thing. Like, yeah, I'm level 45 on the battle pass.
Yeah.
Suck it, friend who's got no time to play this game. So, and yeah, I just think it's just works better in overall because it incentivizes you to stay in the game rather than, I bought this one thing. Yeah, I've got it. I don't really need to keep playing.
And I know for me personally, it's the only, like, I'm more likely to spend money, like, because when Apex Legends, when I was playing that the most, and that season started, the first one or whatever, I brought the battle pass for that. I didn't go super ham, but for the time I was playing it, I was like, I was happy to be unlocking stuff and whatever else. I wasn't at the end like, I wasted so much money. Whereas if they'd only had those skins available for like $2.99 each for the guns and whatever else, I would have been like, nah, don't care.
Yeah.
But battle pass, I'm like, level up. I get a surprise unlock every now and then or whatever else is happening here. So
yeah,
sure, whatever. So if I'm probably going to play Call of Duty the first couple months it's out, and then probably drop it. Let's be honest. I'll probably buy into that first battle pass. I would highly assume I'm going to buy that first battle pass. But yeah, I think this is definitely. I would prefer this over just what they had going on with the last game. That was nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. It's just too hard to understand what you're even spending money on. All right. Let's talk about a little bit of Pokemon. So Pokemon Sword and Shield Gigantamax variants are getting weirder, writes Kotaku. Brian Ashcroft. It's official. Here are the Gigamax versions of Pikachu, Eevee, Charizard, and Meowth. Gigamaxing bumps up their battle stats, increases their size, and changing their appearance, making them all strange, big, and glowy. That version. So you've got a let's kind of start. So I don't know where the video starts. Pikachu. So the first one in the trailer that dropped is Gigantamax Pikachu, which is going to be exclusive for those of you that have Let's Go Pikachu save files on your Switch. That's how you unlock this specific Pokemon. The internet started going wild because that's how the internet started going wild.
Chunky Pikachu.
Yeah, everyone's like Chunky Pikachu and all this stuff. Now, I saw some other people say what my thought was, which is I didn't even blink an eye because in my mind, I was like, this is just the Pikachu I kind of grew up with. Like this, like my OG Pokemon card, which I still have from when I was in primary school that I used to carry around and like pretend to understand the game rules and battle people with, is Chunky Pikachu. So I wasn't like, oh, this is crazy. What's going on? I was just like, oh, Pikachu. You know, like it's the one I know from my childhood. It's back. Chunky Pikachu is my...
It's just nice to see him without all the Photoshop touching and the...
Yeah.
Like, you know...
Yeah. Unrealistic
risky dieting. I mean, it's just nice for him to let go a little bit.
Be allowed to get out there. Yeah. So those of you who have Let's Go Pikachu save files, that's how you're going to be able to get Chunky Pikachu Gigantamax variant happening for you. There you go, USB. So,
it's such a, can I just say it's weird that they're locking Gigantamax, or whatever it's called, Gigantamax, Max, or whatever it's.
Gigantamax.
Yeah, behind a exclusivity. It's a weird one.
I mean, it's not like it costs you money. It's just kind of rewarding people that play different games, and I don't really have a problem with it personally. You know, it's just like whatever. Pokemon has always had exclusive variants, though. Like from day one. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
It's not like, oh, why are they splitting the games up into different things? Pokemon from day one has always, every generation, been about 2 different games, exclusive Pokemon. They make you the hardcore people want to buy both. It's just in their blood. So those of you who have Let's Go EV save files like myself, we're going to be able to get this cutie Gigantamax EV that has real fluffy. What would you call it?
It just looks like Eevee.
No, it's real fluffy. It's neck fur, or whatever you call it.
Really boring. They didn't even bother. They're like, oh, Eevee. People like this. Let's just make it big.
It's fluffy.
I mean, the thing is, nobody's going to have an Eevee, so... Because we all know the only thing Eevee is good for is evolving it straight away.
I can almost guarantee you're not going to be able to evolve this Eevee. Like, it's not going to evolve into a X amount of different variants that all have exclusive.
No, you will be able to. You just won't be able to Gigantamax them.
Well, yeah, probably. So don't evolve your Eevee that's exclusive. And then the other one is this
disadvantage yourself.
No, don't do that either. The other one is the Meowth, which do I have the date here? I've already kind of got it. Damn it. I think it's like the first. January? No, yeah, okay. So if you buy the game before the 20th of January, I was about to say, oh yeah, there it is. You'll get this Meowth in a mystery gift between the November 15th and January 15th, is what it says here. Mystery gift in the game will give you this Meowth, and the Meowth is going to be the Max version, and it's just a Meowth that has a really long neck.
Body.
I don't know. Is it its neck? Is it its body? What's
it's his body?
What's the dealio there?
It's
I guess
it's from under his his arms.
That's true. Yeah. You're right. It's his whole body. So really big Meowth will get Gigamax. You get that if you. So this is the reward early adopters. Sorry, word. Yeah. So that's cool.
Same with like the Super Smash's Ultimate Smash.
Piranha Plant.
With Piranha Plant.
Yeah. So this is the thing that Nintendo's doing. I don't think that's about. I don't think this is bad practice. Like rewarding people for actually buying your game early and not like waiting for it to go on sale or pre-owned or whatever. I don't think that's too like corporate greed type stuff. You know, it's just rewarding those supporting you the game early on.
It'd be interesting if they'll find a way for people to be able to get those things after the date.
Well, you couldn't get Piranha Plant, could you?
I have absolutely no idea.
I don't think you still can. I still think Piranha Plant's locked. Like I don't think there's any way to go after it at this point. And other things that they showed in here, which aren't
crazy microtransactions in this game. You have to buy Pokemon Let's Go and pick Eevee and Pikachu.
Yeah, to unlock all the Pokemon.
Unlock everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know the hardcore Pokemon players have already got both, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And then the other ones that they revealed in here, which aren't exclusive, unless I missed something in the trailer, but was this Butterfree and Charizard. So Charizard looks really cool, I thought. This giant, like, it's got flames all over it, like whatever else is happening. It looks like a giant dragon, basically. Really cool. Charizard's got like a lot of
weird
evolutions these days. Giant forms.
It's got like fire wings.
Basically, yeah. Like Moltres, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
It's a bit weird. Like Charizard gets so many forms. Like it already had the Z evolution and whatever else. So, but here's another giant Charizard for you.
Let's be honest. Charizard was the best one.
Come on.
Best designed one.
One of the best ones, Butterfree, though. The Pokemon episode that made me cry as a child. The Gigantamax Butterfree. I think this looks very cool. I mean, it's not like something absolutely crazy looking different, obviously. It's just a giant Butterfree. It's got big ass wings and they're a little bit of a different color or whatever. But I like it, you know? I like Butterfree. This is the thing, I think, with the Gigamaxing Pokemon. It's like, unlike the Z evolutions and whatever else, it's like they don't too much change the way they look. It's just more like change it a little bit, and it's mostly about just making them big. That's it, you know? It's not like they change majorly. It's just a little bit color change here, bit more glowy.
They get big. They get some special abilities.
Yeah.
And then
they get a special move and whatever else. So that's the Gigamaxing trailer that dropped for Pokemon this week. I don't think none of that's going to make people change.
You can buy Piranha Plant.
You can. All right. How much is it? Does it say?
Yeah. $4.99 American.
Right. I'm going to be honest. I don't have a problem.
So I look forward to you being able to buy all these Gigamax separate DLC.
I honestly don't have a problem too much. I know it's weird. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just like my gut feeling of I'm like, I don't know if I care. Like.
I mean, you can always just buy it from EB and then return it.
I guess.
The Let's Go Eevees.
It's just they reward the early adopters. And we do live in a day and age now where everyone's like buying pre-owned games and like not buying stuff day one because they're waiting for sales or whatever else. You know, like they're rewarding early adopters, and then if you want it a couple months later or whatever, then you've got to pay $5 to get your fucking Meowth, I guess, is what we're going to be going with for this game.
I guess the question will be more, are you really going to have Eevee and Pikachu as part of your team?
No. But that's the other thing. Are any of these Pokemon important enough? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be able to complete your Pokedex of whatever Pokemon are considered the Galarian Pokedex anyway. Like, you don't need the Gigamax versions unless you're some fucking super nerd who wants, I need at least one of every Pokemon in my fucking PC and the Gigamax version as well. Get out of here. That doesn't count.
House of Mario.
Fucking nerds.
Dylan's calling you out.
Yeah, damn right. Every day of the week. Every fucking day of the week, Drew. Here's what's happening in Fortnite Chapter 2. Writes Riley McLeod over at Kotaku. Obviously, we don't really talk about Fortnite too much because none of us... Well, Ash dives in every now and then. I've played like one match in my whole life. 1.5 matches, I think, on my Switch. But I thought that obviously this was a big crazy thing that happened in Fortnite, and if you don't know what happened, they basically ended the game and then they restarted it. So Fortnite Chapter 2 is finally here, and the mystery deepens. Developer Epic has only released some vague patch notes.
Can I just say, I love that they ended the game.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
I love that they ended the game.
I was hoping they was going to leave it there, but anyway.
It was funny.
It was very funny.
Seeing people have full-on meltdowns about just kids just reacting to not being able to play the game is...
so... If you don't know, I guess for some reason, Fortnite was like coming to the end of its latest season, whatever that was, season 990 million. And people couldn't get, the season was about to end and people were trying to queue for matches and it wasn't like loading them in. And then like a lot of Fortnite events, they happen all at the same, well, all of them, they all happen at the same time, right? So what happened for this event was people were in queue for games, and when the season ended, a black hole just ate the game. And they were like, Fortnite's over. End of the game. It's gone. Like a black hole ate your character. It ate the map. It ate everything. It just destroyed it. And then it was down for like a day and a half, 2 days.
Several days
it was. And people were crying and, it was the end of the world. Now, obviously, anyone with a sane brain knew that it was coming back because it's a fucking money-making juggernaut. But I still think it's great that over at Epic, they're willing to just be like, yeah, we'll take it offline for a couple of days. Fuck with people. Like, let's fuck with these 12-year-old kids for the weekend. What day is it? Friday night? Let's take Fortnite offline. Send them outside for a bit. Like,
I mean, it's a little bit sad to see that apparently like special needs kids who are like, that's their thing, were unable to properly cope with this sudden thing that happened. But
that is
for all the problem children who temper tantrums and that kind of thing, it's hilarious. And even some adults who I saw like smash their laptops and shit like that. Yeah,
that's amazing. I should go look that up. But it is back. So they launched in with Fortnite Chapter 2, which I do have to point out that Fortnite is, as far as I'm aware, the only game that's managed to release a sequel to a game that's still in early access.
It's only Chapter 2. It's not a sequel.
It's basically a fucking new game.
They've finally gotten to the second part of the game.
And it's still in early access.
But yeah, still in early access.
It's fucking amazing. So here's Kotaku's rundown.
Tell you what, this game is going to be incredible when it's finished.
Yeah, imagine. Here's the rundown of Kotaku's like features. It says you don't have to go back to the lobby after a match. There's a new option to queue up for the next match after deaf spectating screen. Glad we got. So this is why it's not early access shit. Like the features like this.
Yeah.
The water at Slurpy Swamp gives you shields. I'm sure that's good. The pickaxe key has changed. The pickaxe has a dedicated key now on PC. You used to equip your pickaxe by pressing 1. Now the key is F. So they're changing the way you play the game. You can upgrade weapons. Your weapons can be upgraded at an upgrade bench, which are scattered around the map. You have to get resources, obviously, and then you can upgrade your weapons and stuff. I quite like this feature, even though this is the thing that kind of impressed me the most about this update, because I was like, I'm not a big fan of Fortnite because of the building aspect and stuff, but I'm like, they've already got the resource gathering and stuff. I think adding in like upgrade benches and making that like part of the metagame of like, you should go find, I've got a bunch of resources. I've just killed a team. I should go find an upgrade bench and try and do some work on my gun. I think that fits in like very well to the flow and the way Fortnite works. I think.
And it takes an element of randomness out of the game.
Yes.
Like, you can still land somewhere, get a bunch of crappy weapons,
but upgrade
them. Still slowly build your way up.
Yeah, just go upgrade them. Go chop down some trees
competitive.
And go upgrade some guns.
Just chop down, just destroy an entire building, take every single element you possibly can.
Yeah.
And then upgrade your weapon.
It's fun. You can hide in dumpsters and haystacks now, so they've added the Assassin's Creed elements. You can
finally. It's my time to shine.
Yeah, you can hide in a haystack and hopefully win the game. You can carry down teammates and enemies. If you approach a down teammate or enemy, you'll get a prompt to carry them. You can hoist them over your shoulders and run around with them. In one of my matches, a teammate picked me up and carried me to a safe place so they could revive me. Helpful. In another match, I downed an enemy, picked them up and ran them over to the rest of my companions so they could watch me finish them off. Mean. It seems you can also finish down enemies off by carrying them someplace high and dropping them, which is overkill but hilarious, writes Brian in this article. So that's cool. I like it.
That's cool.
I like how you can carry especially the part about carrying enemies back to your friends. That's great. Yeah. I like that. You can heal yourself with Bandage Bazooka. Chapter 2 has a new weapon called the Bandage Bazooka, which heals teammates when you fire it at them. It takes up 2 inventory slots, but it's worth lugging around. You can heal yourself with it or firing it at your feet. You can fish for health. There are new findable fishing poles to fish. Equip the pole and use your primary fire to cast it. If you near some fish and wait too long, the bobby will dip. If you press fire again at the right time, you'll catch something. The game now has a fishing minigame in it. So like old good games like Final Fantasy 15 now has fishing. Achievements. Yeah. Fortnite has achievements now. You can view the achievements you've got under the career tab. So far, I've gotten some for using a bandage in the storm, healing inside a specific location, and landing on the new island. Achievement reporting seems to be a little wonky. Some people are seeing the wrong achievements, and my I'm trash achievement does not appear on my career screen. Games Radar has a list of achievements, but I kind of like the surprise, right, bro? I looked at PCM profiles before because I didn't want to like re-download the game or whatever. I don't think this affected like Xbox achievements or PlayStation trophies or anything like that. It's just like in-game.
It's just internal.
Yeah. Battle stars have been replaced by XP.
Unless it's going to be like an Epic Game Store thing.
Exclusive achievements. Well, look, if Epic eventually is going to add fucking like proper achievements into the storefront. Like, I know the joke is that Epic never makes the store better, but like they are working on it, and eventually we're going to get achievements into Epic. Will it be cool? I don't know. We'll find out. Battle Stars will be, which used to level up your battle pass, seem to be out. Now missions reward XP and XP levels up your pass. It feels like I'm getting rewarded with XP a lot more now too, including for doing things like searching chests and ammo boxes, surviving storm circles and gathering materials. So basically you're able to apparently level up your battle pass now a lot quicker because there's more ways to get XP and different sorts of things. So that's cool. There are medals at the left side of your body. You'll see a medal punch card. Punch card. There are 10 medals on the card, which refreshes once a day. The 5th and 10th medal reward 4,000 XP, while the others reward 2,000 XP. More ways to get XP and look cool. And yeah, that's basically the main rundown. I'm sure there's other things that, like secrets and Easter eggs, and that's just Fortnite in a nutshell, isn't it? But as someone who, oh, by the way, this article was written by Riley. The last one was Brian, so I kept saying the wrong person's name. I'm sorry. This was written by Riley, not Brian. That is my mistake. Yeah, as I said, I don't really care about Fortnite. I gotta be honest, like when this dropped, I was looking at it, I'm like, this looks cool. I was tempted to download it and kind of jump in and have a go. I like the way they went about it. I like the changes all sound cool. It sounds like maybe you're able to now play the game, like if you hate the building aspect, maybe I can like just fucking focus on just upgrading my guns a bit more, like try and play it without actually having to be good at building. Maybe, I don't know, but
no.
Maybe if I'm a good fisher, that makes up for being a bad builder.
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
unfortunately.
Are you going to jump back in? Do you like all this stuff?
I did jump in.
You
briefly,
did jump in
for a few rounds.
Oh.
Yeah, for a couple of rounds. The other thing in that article said that it seems like they added some bots into the thing, which makes sense now after playing.
Oh, did you?
Like, damn, this is everybody got really bad at this game.
Why
would
they
like
do
fourth
that?
place. I don't know, just to populate it faster.
Oh,
what would be my assumption? So, yeah, I mean, it looks better. The map is all new, obviously. Initially, at least, it seems like the map is locked off, so you have to explore places to unlock the whole map, which is I guess like
like dropping points, like so you have to find them before you can drop in later in another map.
Yeah, so the actual map is sort of like grayed out, except for places that you've been to in previous matches.
That's funny. That's interesting.
But it forces you to unlock the entire thing. I'm sure you get a huge amount of experience, whatever. So
yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, I did the fishing thing. You can either get weapons, you get like different things. You just throw your little fishing rod. There's like sections in the water that have like a white dot flowing. Obviously, that's where you fish and you get stuff. And
they have a mode now, like a non-violent mode, don't they?
They've got like creative mode and that kind of thing.
So you can technically just jump into creative mode and go fishing.
Yeah,
not worried about getting killed.
I don't know why. It's not. It doesn't. It's not like a fun
chill.
It's not like Final Fantasy where you could like continuously fish in the same spot and get like
chill out.
All sorts of stuff. It's just like
maybe you like the map so much. You just wish you could chill there without getting shot.
Yeah, maybe it makes you feel very zen.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like real fishing where you go somewhere where there's actually no fish and you don't realize it. You're just sitting there with your rod there the entire time, just swaying in your boat.
Are you telling us a true story?
Making small talk.
Yeah, so that's Fortnite. So basically this whole episode is a bunch of fucking esports shit, because moving on to League of Legends, Luke Plunkett over at Kotaku writes, in addition to announcement that a version of the main game itself is coming to consoles and phones, Riot have also tonight said that there are a bunch of League of Legends spin-offs in the works, along with an animated series. So yeah, the big one, of course, is that League of Legends is coming to consoles and phones. After a decade of dominating on PC, League of Legends is finally launching a version of the game on both home consoles and mobile devices. It's called League of Legends Wild Rift and makes some important changes to the PC version. It's got a modified version of the map, a new user interface, a dual stick control scheme with the idea that games can be finished in 15 to 20 minutes as opposed to the longer bouts on PC. Alphas and betas will start rolling out at the end of the year. I have no idea. As someone, of course, who has talked about how I used to be a League of Legends addict, I have no idea how League of Legends will work on consoles. I cannot, like, my mind can't comprehend how you play the game without mouse and keyboard. I don't know. I'm keen as fuck to give it a go, though. You know, like it's
yeah,
very interesting. Would I want to play it on my phone ever? Fuck no. Consoles is one thing. Phone is no. That sounds like a disaster. I mean,
that's where you draw the line.
That's probably where I draw the line. Like MOBA on my phone is probably not like, just sounds like disgusting. That just sounds disgusting is what it sounds like. So that's cool. Now, before we move on quickly, obviously me and Kieran made you play a couple rounds of League of Legends. You had no idea what you were doing. Do you want to try it out on consoles?
Yeah.
And jump in?
Yeah, I think it would be cool to play on consoles. I mean, at least it'll level the playing field a little bit. I would assume it would just be the item management that would sort of like fall to the wayside a little bit.
Well, it's like, I guess,
streamlined a bit more.
So for people that don't know, I probably should have said, sorry, but like League of Legends is a MOBA if you don't know. So MOBA, if you don't know, stands for Massive Online Battle Arena. And the idea of League of Legends and all MOBAs is basically there's 3 lanes in League of Legends, middle, top, bot, and the idea is to defeat your enemy, push through those lanes, get to their base on the other side, take down their towers, which are automated things that shoot you, and then destroy their nexus from the inside. That's how you win the game. Of course, there's a lot more to it. Now, on PC, when you play it, the mouse is your main form of moving a character. It's like wherever you click, right click, your character will move there. And if you watch anyone play the game that's played a lot, like myself, I'm pretty much constantly clicking because like you're in the moment. You want to be able to like it's just like fidgety. It's like a fidget thing. Like people who played the game a lot and who got into a lot, you'll notice they're just constantly clicking, like click, 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 click. It's just like a fidget thing of constantly moving. People who don't play the game a lot will click on one area and just take their hand off the mouse and watch the character move. Bad idea. What if someone jumps out and fucking you need to move? Other things you use is QWER, as that's your main move. So you have every character has 3 combat moves. And plus ultimate, so 4 buttons total there. And then you also have 2 special abilities that could be a spine, well, not special abilities, 2 abilities you bring in at the start of the match that you can choose between a bunch to change. They're usually assigned to D and F. So there's 2 more buttons. And then you also have hotkeys of like 1 through to 6 or 9 or whatever it is that could be assigned to like potions and all this sort of shit. So there's a lot of buttons there. Now, on a PlayStation controller, for example, I could see, I'm like, okay, so I guess you're going to move your character with the left analog stick. And that's just how you're going to move your character. That's done.
Yes.
Right.
No clicking.
No clicking. You're just going to move your character with left analog stick. And I suppose your main actions are going to be assigned to X, circle, triangle, square, or what have you.
Yep.
And then I suppose there's going to be like hold down L2, R2 to open up a wheel. And then you'll be able to use the right analog stick to like quick select potions or
like L3 or R3 maybe.
Something like that. Yes. That's how it plays out in my mind. And even then it feels so slow. This is my problem.
It does. The other thing is obviously on PC you can like go look at the map, the entire world.
Yes.
Don't know how you'll be able to do that.
I don't know how you do that. Yes. And that's another thing. It's like if you're good at the game, when I was playing it a lot, me and my friends always had a joke, like we'd just shout map awareness at one another. Like especially if someone nearly walked into someone like entering or exiting store, would be like map awareness. No jokes. And that was because like you always wanted to be like, not only are you like clicking around like fast controlling your character, but then you're always like kind of moving the map around different areas and be like, what's middle lane doing? What's top lane doing? What's happening over here? Like anyone that's good at the game, you'll notice they're constantly like, it's just a lot of multitasking, and I don't know how that works on console. I'm keen to try it though.
I think it just plays different on console.
It's just going to be its own beast, and I'm happy for it to be its own beast and whatever else, I guess. But yeah, this is where like
do you want your skins to be transferable? Is that going to be a day one thing? Do you think you'll be angry if they're like, no, it's complete fresh start?
I won't be angry, but
it's got a subtitle. It's a completely different game.
That's what's going to happen. It's a completely different game. It's not going to carry over my skins because they'll be like, well, this game's called League of Legends, whatever I said it's called, and I've already forgot. It's not League of Legends. It's completely different. What's it called? League of Legends Wild Rift. Right, there we go. Wild Rift. Yeah, I doubt it'll carry on. They'll be like, it's its own thing. You're not going to get your skins. I'm like, well, okay, cool. I've only spent probably $1,000 in this game. Like, can you fucking not just give me my fucking skins and shit? Jesus Christ. I'm keen. But Riot went crazy. I got to say, by the way, as someone who used to be a massive League of Legends fan and still pays attention to is the only esport I pay attention to. But Riot, obviously, as we've talked about on this show a lot, is pretty shit, to put it bluntly, right? Over the last year or so, Riot has just proven to be right cunts. It's in their name. Lots of issues with their management and bro culture and all this sort of stuff, which we've discussed before. So it's hard. Like I'm reading all these announcements. I'm like, exciting, cool, great. And then of course in the back of my mind, I'm like, but Riot are fucks lately. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, I'm like, I want to get excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to forget that Riot have a lot of issues, and it's hard to forget that. It's like these are being made by bros who are like walking around being like, we can't hire women unless they can fucking take a slap on the ass in a good old fucking Call of Duty match. So next thing they announced was the first spin-off thing was they announced was called Legends of Runeterra, and it's going to be a free-to-play strategy game. And as I write here, called a la,
strategy card game.
Strategy card game, thank you. It'll be coming out on 2020 to PC and mobile. That's all they really said. So it's, I guess, wait for more. It's basically going to be Hearthstone with League of Legends characters and whatever else.
Cool.
I'll say it for everything, but my answer for everything here is I'm probably going to give everything a go. Like what sticks, what slides, I don't know. I found it absolutely crazy because I should have mentioned the reason all this was announced is because League of Legends was 10. So they're like 10-year anniversary.
That's crazy.
We're going fucking mad, and we're going to announce 1,000,001 projects and things. It was a pretty massive day. Like I was just scrolling through Twitter, like, fucking calm down. Like you're announcing everything.
This is what they've been doing the last 10 years.
Yeah, working on all this stuff. So next thing they announced was a fighting game, which is currently called Project L and is in very early development. This has been leaked or somewhat like rumored for quite some time that Riot was working on League of Legends fighting game. This one is the one that interests me the least because I'm not a fighting game person. I would try it out of interest if they had like a beta or something like that go up so I could give it a go when it happens eventually. But
what if it's more like a Smash type?
I don't even like Smash though. Game. Like I just don't like I don't like Smash. I don't like Tekken. I don't like it's the one genre that I just can't for any.
I mean, it's the genre that makes the most sense. Obviously, each character has their own moveset and that kind of thing. It seems the easiest thing to incorporate their IP into. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm keen to see what it looks like. It's just like probably the one that's least interest to me. The next one is called is a shooter, a first-person shooter, believe it or not. It's currently called Project A, and it's described as a quote stylish, competitive, character-based tactical shooter for PC. Unlike a lot of other stuff shown off today, it's not based on the League of Legends universe. Here's some early footage. So it's like this is the thing that confuses me. It's like, oh, it's Riot's new thing, but like it's not based in the League of Legends universe. So I was like, it's its own thing, but they announced it on the League of Legends 10th anniversary, but a lot of the abilities that you see in like the very early gameplay they show seems League of Legends-ish. I would say, like, I watched the announcement video. Here's the easiest thing to explain this. Imagine Overwatch, but a little bit more Counter-Strikey. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
That's what it feels like.
So they're knives.
Well, they don't show them taking objectives or anything. It just seems like what they showed was just more team fighty. And like the guns seemed a bit more Counter-Strikey, and they're like, we want to make sure that like they talk about how they want to be like have fast paced like shooting where you could like headshot a dude real fast and they go down, like whereas like, and there are abilities in the game, but like obviously Overwatch is more like you can't headshot, it's like shields and abilities and whatever else. I'm keen. Once again, not super pumped, but I'm keen. Well, it's probably still not going to release until I'd say at least late next year, because or mid next year at the earliest, like if they crunch, which they will, because that's a problem they have. And finally, the last thing they announced was an animated series called Arcane, and they put out a trailer for it. I think this looks really fucking cool. I'm surprised they've taken this long to do it, because every time there's a new like massive League of Legends update, they put out these beautifully animated CGI videos. They did that whole music thing. That was last year, right? Yes. Yeah,
the KDA thing.
KDA thing, they did that last year, and that was massive, and it was great. League of Legends has always had these like much like a lot of these games, even like Overwatch or whatever else, it's like if you don't care about the character's backstory and stuff, you don't need to pay attention. But every time they release the character, there is backstory you can read into. There is a universe you can explore, etc., etc., etc. And Arcane is going to be exploring the League of Legends universe, I guess. Have
they said how it's releasing?
No. So all they did was show a trailer, which, as far as I'm aware, it just shows a bunch of characters. The main characters appear new, and then the main character that I noticed at like the start and several other points or whatever is Jinx, who's like seen riding the rocket or whatever at some point in it. So I guess that's like the only connection to the main thing, but other than it's like new characters, new city, whatever else. But I think this will do well. I think that the League of Legends audience,
really,
this will be something.
This thing based on this super popular franchise is going to do well. Going out on a limb there.
Going out on a limb. I don't know if anyone wants to take my pizza bet, but I'm going to say that this League of Legends thing does well. I want to go back in time and be like, this League of Legends thing is going to do well.
I'm intrigued because obviously I've seen there's a ton of lore about League of Legends, so something easy to get into, like wean your way into. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
because like in the game, they're like, oh, this character has history of this character, and like there's things where it's like certain characters will have abilities that trigger if like I think it's like, I don't know them all because I don't play it as much, but it's like Kha'Zix was a character, and then like Rengar was a character, and in the storyline those two had like a thing where they hated each other, and it's like if he was playing as Kha'Zix and like someone on the enemy team was playing as Rengar, that would trigger a special ability for both of you that you would only get if those two characters were like on the opposite teams kind of thing. So like they've already like kind of played off backstories and history, even if you didn't care about it. Like they were built into the mechanics of the game somewhat. So yeah, I'm keen. Lots of League of Legends, cool stuff. I guess we'll be talking about next year as the beta rolls out for the console version of League of Legends and the card game and the first person shooter that rolls out next year.
Whenever they decide to drop it.
Yeah, they ain't coming. It's next year at the earliest. Come on. And that fighting game, the fighting game is the thing they didn't show at all. So that's definitely like 2021 at the earliest. Come on.
2.
The rest of it I could see dropping at least into betas or early access type things next year. The fighting game's fucking not happening.
Also, Teamfight Tactics come on the phones. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Teamfight Tactics come on the phone. That's cool. I will download that and definitely play it on my phone. Although I'm kind of used to it on my screen now, where I'm like, will the things be too small and will I be like really annoyed trying to click on them? But like everything else, I'll download it and give it a go. I'll download it and give it a go. So for what I've been playing, I'm not going to spend... I just kind of want to mention this because I spent a lot of time talking about on Platinum Explosion, obviously, but both things I'm about to talk about are things that I played prior to PAX, and I didn't get to talk about them, obviously, or mention them. So Concrete Genie came out. I spent about 15-20 minutes talking about that on Platinum Explosion. Go find that episode and listen to it if you want to hear me in depth. I put out a written review for it, which is over at explosionnetwork.com. I gave it a 10. I think it's the only game we've gave a 10, right? Like it's only, it's only game with
this year. Yeah.
No, full stop. I don't think I've gave anything a 10 before. No, I've not. I just looked. This is the only thing I've gave a 10 for. So, Explosion Network's first 10 is Concrete Genie. So you should go read my review if you want to know more about that. Or listen to the Platinum Explosion episode where I talk about it a lot. Concrete Genie. The other thing that I played that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet was John Wick Hex, which released like the Wednesday the embargo went up, but then I flew out Thursday or whatever it was. Like I think it was some sort of thing like that. I don't know. So this is a prequel that the storyline is set prior to John Wick 1. It's how the story fits in. I want to say straight away that if you're a big John Wick fan and all those games, although I wouldn't say those movies are obviously big story heavy things, it's obviously more about the action and what have you. The story in this was very mediocre to me, to put it plainly, and that's I really wasn't a big fan of it. The story is basically told by you've got Ian McShane's character, the hotel manager dude from the movies, and you've got Lance Reddick's character, the service person, the hotel desk person. What's it? What would you call that? The receptionist?
Concierge.
Concierge. What's the fancy word for receptionist? Concierge. Yeah, so those two voice their characters from the movie in this. And then you've got Troy Baker, who's playing the villain, whose name is Hex. And he has Ian McShane and Lance Reddick's characters tied up. And then the game story is kind of told retroactively with Troy Baker's character Hex explaining what John's done. And blah 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 blah, and it kind of flashes back, and then you play basically what Hex is talking about until you get to the last level where spoilers you catch up to him, obviously. The reason but no Keanu Reeves at all, which was I think a bit of a letdown. I would have liked at least some one-liners in that Keanu Reeves voice and whatever else, but so stories like whatever, don't care for it. The gameplay wise though, it's really fun. It's really unique strategy game. It definitely stands apart. It didn't go quite as far mechanic wise as I would have liked, like for a John Wick thing. But its basis and the way it works is really unique. So how it works is it's not like a turn-based RPG where like XCOM, you kind of be like, oh, I'll send this guy here and I'll send this guy here and do this. And then the enemy has their turn, then you have your turn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. John Wick is a strategy game that is most comparable to Superhot because the enemy moves when you move, and whenever you move, they move. And blah, 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 blah. And you can see this kind of play out at the top. It still shows you a timeline, what the enemy is going to do and what you're going to do. But basically it means if you see an enemy in front of you, if you click move forward, they're either going to move forward or they're going to start drawing their gun.
Take a shot.
And they're going to start shooting at you. So it's not like you can click on them and be like, oh, dodge them or whatever. It's like you got to kind of click, get behind cover, and then you're obviously taking your chances and whatever else. But so you basically so if you start a level and you click, if you click right as far up the end of a corridor, for example, and you see no enemies around, John will start like kind of walking or running, whatever, down that corridor. Now, if an enemy comes into your sight, even if they haven't seen you yet, but they come into John's sight, the game will then pause. It'll let you change your course of action. You can be like, nah, fuck it, just keep running, do what you need to do, John. But will let you change your course of action. And then you can do things like click shoot them. You could then try and sneak towards them. You can like crouch. Crouch takes like a millisecond. Everything in the game like takes point something of a second or 1 point something of a second or whatever else. The game is like, you could spend like 10 minutes playing a level, and then in reality it's only a minute of John Wick's actual time when you see it played through. But when it gets down to like what makes the game hard, because I've seen some people, I would say the game is not easy. Like I died a lot on several levels, and I mean a lot. One level I probably died like fucking 20 times at the start before I even managed to clear the start section. Just dying so many fucking times from silly mistakes because John doesn't have much health, and you get a limited number of health packs to use in an entire section. So basically, the game's several worlds or levels, I guess, if you want to call them that. So the game's levels are split up into different sections, and you'll start the level and you'll do a section, and you'll start it with 2 health packs or bandages, whatever they're called. And it's like, if you use both of those in the first section, you're probably fucked because you may find some, you may not. But if you've got none left at the, by the time you reach the last section of the level, which is the boss fight, you're up shit creek without a paddle then. And John Wick dies really fucking fast, and you need to be able to react fast and plan fast and do the right things and take into account what moves are going to work out right. So it's like someone's about to shoot you, and then you can click on them and click shoot, not lock it in, but like click shoot to see what it's going to do. Up the top of the screen on the timeline bar, it'll have like a little line representing the enemy, and then it'll have a little line representing you and your shooting action. Now, most likely, your shooting action is going to take place after theirs, which means you probably don't want to do that because it means you're going to get shot. You'll shoot them, you'll kill them, but you're going to take damage. You don't want to take damage. You can do other things though. You could throw your gun. Now, most times, throwing a gun beats if an enemy is going to shoot you, but then of course you're weaponless, and you have to act fast. It's like if you throw a gun at someone, you will interrupt them shooting you, but then it's like you got to move towards them to kind of finish off the the job. And moving, if there's other enemies around, means that they're going to shoot you. So it's like you have to run in a shit creek. The hardest the game gets when it comes to like taking into account all the different enemies and the millisecond actions is when there's several enemies around you and you're just locked into a fisticuff fight. Because you have to be like, okay, so I'll hit this person and I'll distract him for like 0.5 of a second. And if like hit this person, oh, someone's about to shoot me, quickly get behind cover. Like it gets quite intense. And it's really weird because like it is a strategy game, but like you feel like you're playing an action game because you're constantly like clicking and making actions and moving. It's really hard to explain. It's a really unique system. I hope they, Mike Biffle Games who made it, along with the others there, expand upon it. I would love to see more because the things that kind of let me down is like there wasn't enough John Wicky stuff I could do. Like I've got a gun, I can throw the gun, but like, can I pick up this bottle on the table and like throw that? No. Can I pick up like a bat or something? You know what I mean? Like there wasn't quite enough variety and interaction with the world and inside the levels that felt just a little bit let down. You know, like as you play something like Hotline Miami, which this game isn't exactly like, but it's like kind of fast paced, similar sort of combat, I guess, but in a strategy element. It's like in that game, you can walk in like fire a shotgun, throw the shotgun, pick up a knife, throw the knife, fucking, you know what I mean? Like I kind of wanted just more variety to the moves I was going to make, but it's really cool. Unique, at least unique. And the last boss fight was a fucking pain in the ass, but that is John Wick Heximus. Heximus. It's out on the Epic's Game Store. If you don't have Epic and would like to look up John Wick Hex. So for the main topic, we're going to dive into as much as we can. The Blizzard shitstorm that has been happening over the last 2 weeks. Oh, basically 2 weeks, I guess. We kind of missed that because obviously it started kicking off right before PAX. It was missing the main shitstorm there. We didn't talk about it in the Audio Technica episode, obviously, because I feel like that would have been, I mean, could have, but like probably not the best episode to record live there. But so if you don't know what's going on, gamers are organizing a mass protest at Blizzard's BlizzCon, writes Vice.com. So, a coalition of activists and gamers and game activists are planning an umbrella protest at BlizzCon, Blizzard's Activision's biggest annual conference, to push back against the company's censorship of a high-profile Hearthstone player who voiced support for Hong Kong pro-democracy protesters. Non-profit or activist group Fight for the Future is organizing the campaign called GamersForFreedom.com to keep a scorecard keeping track of companies that have publicly pledged to not censor players like Blizzard. It is calling on players who show up to BlizzCon, which starts November 1st in California, to protest the company's censorship. The BlizzCon protest is named after the 2014 pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. Quote, "This is not going away," said Evan Greer, Deputy Director of Fight for the Future. Blizzard and other companies who are engaging in censorship on behalf of the authoritarian government are not going to get away with it. They have no idea what kind of internet shitstorm they've unleashed. We're going to make an example out of them to make sure that all companies know that throwing human rights and free expression under the bus to make some extra money will not be tolerated. Fight for the Future has successfully organized a host of major protests over the last few years, including some of the internet's largest pro-net neutrality campaigns. Those campaigns included large-scale public commenting campaigns on the FCC's website, purchasing billboards to shame anti-net neutrality lawmakers, and working to get Congress to support a bill that would restore net neutrality. In recent weeks, the organization has protested Amazon's Ring partnerships with police, which allow police to obtain footage from Ring home surveillance cameras without a warrant. The coalition has set up a Discord to plan the protest. So far, the Discord is relatively small, but Greer said she is hoping people to quote, "come in cosplay of science, creative shirts, etc." The protest is in the early stages, but Fight for the Future has proven track record of being able to mobilize lots of people in the name of internet freedom. Saying, quote, Greer said, "So far we've just announcing it, calling for people to come. We should figure out all the logistics, location, police liaison, signs and messaging, etc., etc., etc. So the other thing, just to add on to this before we dive into it, is so obviously at the start of this week, or Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it was this week, or no, it was last Friday, actually, I think, when Overwatch and Witcher 3 released. Witcher 3 kind of came out and everyone was like, hurrah! Overwatch came out, which, by the way, quick note, I'll just say it now. I played Witcher 3 at PAX for 10 minutes. It runs well. I was surprised. It looks like shit, but it actually runs very well. That's my mini review.
You were surprised it looked like shit?
No, I was surprised it ran well. I knew it was going to look like shit, but I wasn't expecting to run well. Like you saw me. It's funny. Like, it's a side story. I'm fucking there, and I'm literally like moving the horse like a crazy person, kind of trying to. I'm trying to cause like screen tearing or some sort of shit to happen because I'm trying to break it. And Ash is like, "Are you purposely driving like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to break the game, Ash." Like, I'm trying to break the game so I can be the guy that's like, "I broke The Witcher 3 on Switch." Don't do it. No, but it ran really well. It ran. I did a big ass fight. I had 0 frame rate issues. If that's literally the only way you've got to play The Witcher, or you just want to replay it for shits and gigs on the Switch, honestly, go for it. It ran fucking well. I have no problems. Apparently Overwatch runs like shit on the Switch though. Which bring it back to this. So Monday night, Nintendo announced that Blizzard has cancelled its launch event for Overwatch on Nintendo Switch. The launch was planned to take place on October 16th at Nintendo's New York City store. Nintendo's New York City tweeted, quote, "Please be aware that the previously announced Overwatch launch event scheduled for Wednesday 16th to 10th and Nintendo NYC has been cancelled by Blizzard. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause." Blizzard and Nintendo did not offer any reason for the event's cancellation, and Blizzard did not immediately respond to Motherboard's request for comment. Blizzard is in the midst of an internet shitstorm after suspending Hong Kong Hearthstone player Chung Mingwei, Blitz Chung, for declaring his support for Hong Kong's pro-democracy protests. Initially, Blizzard rescinded his $500,000 prize for winning the Asia-Pacific regional tournament and was suspended for 1 year. On Friday, the developer promised to return his prize money and shorten the suspension to 6 months, but still stood by its original decision to sanction him. In a statement issued by Blizzard on Friday, the company asserted that, quote, "Every voice matters," but doubled down by saying that it would silence players who use official channels to talk about anything other than the game. Blizzard has been hounded by waves of criticism that are building as more companies go out of their way to collaborate with China on censorship. A large protest is planned at BlizzCon, blah, 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 blah. So, and then the article finishes from Vice saying, presumably Blizzard cancelled the event to try avoid any public protests associated with the launch of Overwatch, but the company can only hide for so long. So yeah, what are your overall thoughts on all of the Blizzard shit? We've had some time to think about it, time to read stuff while we've been around about.
I think if that was the rule in the competition, that was what was stated, they were within their rights to have done what they did. It is not a good look. It is. It looks terrible visual, like from every single angle except from mainland China. It seems like the majority of people on this issue are pro Hong Kong. I feel like so. But I mean, if that's the rule, that's the rule. I mean, they were within their rights to enforce it.
Well, I guarantee the rule they're talking about would say something along the lines of like, it
said the rule was engaging in any act that in Blizzard's sole discretion brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image will result in removal from the Grandmasters and reduction of the player's prize total to $0, in addition to any other remedies which may be provided for under the handbook and Blizzard's website terms.
Yeah, that's a very broad term, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a very broad description that they could basically decide what and when to enforce it for who they deem fit. It's a kind of, This is honestly the world we live in. This is the kind of thing, like one of these pro players could go on Twitch and stream and say the N word. Blizzard would not do what they're doing for now if they did that.
Because it's not in competition.
No, but it's still ridiculous. I would put money out there. If someone said the N word in the competition, they would get less shit.
Probably
100% they would get less shit. They'd get slapped on the wrist and they'd get told, don't do that again. They'd get told,
well, maybe not now.
They'd get told to make a public apology and everyone would move on. The reason Now, I think this is very obvious. I think the reason that Blizzard is doing this. Blizzard makes a shit ton of money from China. This is not.
Yes.
This is what annoys me about this story personally, is because it's like from the outset, it was just so obvious what this is actually about. It's not about them being like, oh, the rules are this, blah 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 blah. It's not about them trying to keep politics outside of anyone speaking about anything or whatever else. It's about this person, and the politics in quotation marks that they spoke about was a market in which Blizzard makes a shit ton of money, and they don't want to piss off that market, and that's the sole reason that this is happening. They don't want Hong Kong phone call ring on the red phone. We're banning fucking Overwatch from China. You know?
Yeah.
That's what this boils down to. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is cut and dry what this boils down to.
Well, I think it's interesting when you look at this compared to the Israel Folau situation in rugby in Australia. I don't know how much you know about
as much as I briefly
situation.
read on Twitter and whatever else, yeah.
So pretty much he made anti-homosexual... He put up a religious-based post that was pretty much saying all homosexuals will go to hell.
Yeah, going to burn in hell. Yeah.
A year after making similar posts on social media and being told not to do that, and then specifically having a clause in his contract saying not to do that. One of the major factors why they sort of ripped up his contract because of it is because Qantas is a major sponsor of these Wallabies, and of course Alan Joyce is a gay man, so it was a sponsor-based decision as well. So I think money comes into every single element of these kind of decisions as well. That's crazy because Israel Folau was arguably one of the best players in the world at the time. So
yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean?
This is one of those things where I'm going to be 100% honest and be like, oh, my personal opinion is going to come into play here, but like when it comes to this thing, this person whose name I've already forgot. Sorry, the pro Overwatch player. They, as far as I'm concerned, they're on the right side of history with what they're trying to, the message they're trying to spread. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to be like, oh, they shouldn't have said that. I'm like, they're on the right side of history. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it comes to Israel Folau, is that right?
Yes, you nailed it.
Right. Flower. His thing, automatically when I remember reading that story, I was like, the dude is on Twitter saying that gay is going to burn in hell. He's on the wrong side of history. You know, when people say that and people be like, well, everyone's allowed their opinion. I'm like, well, it's not an opinion. You know, it's. Who
are we to say what we don't know what happens in hell?
I was like,
I'm sure some
this
are burning in hell.
This is my thing. Like, I think as a society, because we live in one, I don't know if you know, we've kind of reached we're at two sides. We're being told to be more acceptable and open to people's opinions, and sometimes we're taking that too far, right? So if someone's saying that gay people are going to burn in hell, we should not be like, probably shouldn't say that, but that's your opinion. We should be like, that is not something you should say. That is not something we should be on the news and telling our children that, well, that's just their opinion. No, we should be shunning them. We should be saying that is an opinion that is bad. Because where is the line on this? This is my thing with this. Years ago, fucking Adolf Hitler's out there like, oh, Jews are probably bad. like, is that opinion Hitler? Well, it was, and then he turned it into a movement. You know what I mean? So, I'm not trying to say Israel.
Yep, that's exactly what you did. You said Israel Folau is Hitler, comparable to Hitler.
I'm just saying, like, we're in this world where it's like, oh, let's be open to more people's opinions and this sort of shit. I'm like, some people's opinions should not be allowed. And him saying that gay people are going to burn in hell is an opinion that we shouldn't be on TV saying, it's okay, kids, because he just has a different opinion and that's perfectly fine. No, we should be saying, hey, kids, that is bad. Do not say that. Do not think like that. That person is a bad person. And that's kind of what that boiled down to me. Because I often think about the kids, you know. bringing it back to the whole Blizzard thing, that's what I'm saying. Like, personal opinion comes into play a little bit here. I'm like, they're on the right side of history. They're on the side trying to help liberate. I don't know what the word you'd use. Move Hong Kong forward, China forward. And their message is one of what I would consider positive. It's the right message. Unfortunately, it's the wrong message for Blizzard because, as we've been over, the message this person is trying to spread is anti-government, and that government feeds
anti-Chinese
government, and that's the Chinese government that feeds Blizzard's pockets. So it's one of those stories where I'm just like, look, I get what Blizzard's coming from. They like money. But also at the same time, they've officially dug themselves a hole I don't see themselves getting out of for quite some time. Because, like, it's very... They've kind of shown their hand to a demographic. Have you seen the pictures on Twitter? People, even at Blizzard's own company, were covering up plaques and shit at Blizzard that said, like, this is a place for everyone to work and free opinion of thought. This sort of shit or whatever. Like, people there were, like, kind of covering up their own shit at the workplace. So people even at Blizzard that worked there were like sabotaging or whatever, you want to, angry and like would not like and doing things at their own workplace to do this and sharing it on Twitter and whatever else. There's lots of people I'm seeing on Twitter being like, that's it, I've uninstalled Overwatch. Fuck this shit. I'm not supporting this. So like I'm not saying that Overwatch is dead or Blizzard's dead. Hardly from it. The amount of people that are going to stop playing Overwatch over this is so minuscule compared to the amount of people that play it. But I definitely feel like they've caused a ruckus with this and kind of shown their hand a little bit, because it's like you either come across as a company that's like on like you either pretend to be like for the people about the people and like whatever else, or even if you're like really just a giant conglomerate bullshit company, but they've kind of shown their hand, which is that they care about money and they only care about money, and the people making decisions there, it's about money. It's like they're on the wrong side of history for this one, and I feel like it may come back to bite them in the ass a little bit, especially if the things in China go the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like then they're actually on the wrong side of history.
Yeah.
They could literally
end
up on the wrong side of history.
They've really put their foot in it, I think. So I don't think it'll long-term affect them too much. I feel like eventually something else will come along that'll
there's always
get
something.
People's anger up.
Yeah, it's NDE. Well, fucking
there's always something. It's just a bad situation.
If they were smart, they'd drop it.
They're easily avoidable.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one person saying one thing in one broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't know that mainland China was going to go, fuck Blizzard, we're not going to play any of your games ever again because one person said something.
It's one of those things that I honestly feel like
although this is a country that banned Winnie the Pooh on the internet.
That's
so
exactly.
Who knows?
This is one of those things. This is where it's like, this alternative history. Let's think about it for alternative history out there. Different world. Blizzard lets this comment fly. They don't say anything about it. Someone from fucking China secret forces contacts Blizzard. I don't know who that would be. They're like, listen, if you don't punish this player, we're going to ban Overwatch and whatever else. Like we're going to do some drastic shit. Alternative history, let's imagine Blizzard's like, fuck you. They then go online. They might make a blog post like, we're sorry, blah, 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 because of what's happened here, but we support the liberation or the people's movement in China. Like, imagine that. Imagine the good press. They would have lost money. Oh, they would have lost money.
Yep.
They would have lost so much money.
Insane amount of money.
Yes.
Blizzard would have gone into bankruptcy.
They wouldn't have gone into bankruptcy.
None of the good press would have mattered.
They wouldn't have gone into bankruptcy.
They would have been dead in the water. No. All video games would have ended.
They would have 100% lost a fuck ton of money if this happened. But at the same time, can you imagine how all of a sudden Blizzard would have been, they would have been like, if this is the thing they did, they would have been like on high pedestals. I would have been on here going, holy fuck Blizzard. Like, I've said some shit about you, but for you to turn around and do that, like, that is fucking mad dog shit. And I fucking, my hat off to you. Like, that would have been like a ballsy ass thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Your appreciation doesn't pay the bills.
No, that's true. I'm just saying. But, like, you know, long term.
Good press doesn't do much.
Long term.
Because eventually something terrible is going to happen to Blizzard and then it'll all go down the toilet anyway. So.
Yeah. I feel like the out for this is just to drop a trailer for Diablo Mobile.
Yes.
Like, just drop a trailer for Diablo Mobile and be like...
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get angry.
Be like, Overwatch
anyway.
What? Like, oh, Diablo Mobile sucks, doesn't it? Oh, too bad we're putting that out.
Guess what?
Gamers.
Oh, BlizzCon, guess what?
Get angry.
Diablo 4's here.
Yeah. Like, imagine if I was going to open... They're like... They had in their plans. When's it, how far away is this? We're about 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks away from BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So, imagine if in their original plans, they're like, Diablo 4 teaser trailer, open the show. After this whole thing, they're like, nah. Can't have that. We need people angry because angry will carry longer term press, which is true. I think, you know, like if they announce Diablo 4, it'll be like a bubble burst. It'll be like like 5 days tops of like everyone be like Diablo 4, that's mad. But if they open once again with Diablo Mobile, people angry gamer bros will be talking about that until February, at least.
Yeah.
So it's
out now.
Out now. Play Diablo Mobile. It might be a move. Might be a move they need to do. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that story. What's going forward? What happens at BlizzCon? Obviously, how many people turn up for the protests? Any kind of crazy shenanigans that could happen at BlizzCon. Look, BlizzCon this year is going to be interesting because obviously last year the whole mobile thing was shitstorm. This year they're probably going to talk about that again. So if they talk about mobile, pisses everyone off, that'll be great. If they announce Diablo 4, that'll be great. That's like good press. And then if there's a bunch of protests and funny stories, and by funny I mean we could potentially see some weird shit happen.
Cool signs,
or whatever else was going to be happen. It's going to be interesting BlizzCon in a couple of weeks, and we will be talking about it right here, explosionhour.com/RKCouch. The podcast that you're listening to. That's my radio voice. Subscribe. That'll do it for this week's episode of RK Couch, I think.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how, like, obviously the esports segment of the Blizzard is affected. Like, do they see a drop in ratings? Do they see a drop in participation? That kind of thing?
Yeah. Doubt it.
Probably not, but...
If a bunch of...
Are we going to include people's mics on the air anymore? Are they going to be able to talk to camera anymore? We have to vet what they're going to say before.
It didn't even
things.
It'd be worse if it was like "fuck China." You know what I mean? Like it was very tame. Like it was like in his mind. I swear, like trying to be. It's like maybe he wanted to say like "fuck" whoever the leader. I don't know the name. Yeah. Like maybe they.
But from everything he said after, it sounds like he knew that there was a pretty good chance things were going to go sideways.
There's no way he wasn't like, I'll say a tame-ish comment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very like tame compared to like, fuck China.
Yeah, but we're talking about China.
Yeah, no, nothing's tame over there. Not even Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, all right. Thank you for joining us this week on The Couch. Make sure you check out explosionnetwork.com for all our shows, reviews, news, articles, and much more, including PAX coverage that was talking about and all that sort of shenanigans. Platinum Explosion episode talking about Concrete Couch, whatever else. Last week's episode of
Concrete Couch.
Concrete Couch, yeah. There you go. Last week's episode of Arcade Couch live at the Audio Technica booth. They'll hopefully be live soon. You can review Arcade Couch on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser to help out the show. Simply review the episode on social media. You can tweet at us, tweet at your friends, do it if you need to do. You can follow Explosion Network on Twitter at ExplosionPod, and you can join our Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaldil, VIVALADIL. You can follow Ash on Twitter at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEY, and we'll see you here, same time, same couch, next week. Goodbye.